Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to read the book entitled Are All the Watches Safe? This is a wonderful story about Corrie ten Boom. If you listen to our teaching, we talked about serving others, being Jesus to others, and the books that we have been reading have been showing us life examples, real life examples of people who did that. People who had Jesus in their heart and then helped others. We learned how Hudson Taylor went all the way to China to take the gospel to those who needed it. We learned about Amy Carmichael, who rescued children from being abused in temples, and she had an orphanage that she started all the way in India to help others. Next week we'll be reading about George Mueller, who lived a life of faith and relied on God as he took care of many children in an orphanage. Today we get to learn about how God used Amy Carmichael. Corrie ten Boom, not Amy Carmichael. Corrie ten Boom, both women, wonderful women who used their lives to serve the Lord. But before they were all grown up, they were children just like you. Let's read about Corrie ten Boom. Corrie ten Boom lived in a little watch shop in the middle of Holland. She lived there with her papa, mama, and her sister Betsy. It was a pretty little shop with a sign by the door. The window was full of watches and clocks that ticked away gently in the background while the clocks made loud ringing noises. Could you imagine growing up in a watch shop where you could hear the ticking all day long? Corrie loved her papa. He was one of the best watchmakers in the city. Corrie's papa loved God, and he loved to teach his little girls about him too. Corrie felt safe with her papa. She felt even safer when she knew that God loved her. It was wonderful to know that loving and trusting in Jesus was all she needed to do. Jesus' love would keep her safe forever, even when she died. Corrie had never felt so safe before. Corrie wanted to be a watchmaker like her papa. When she passed her watchmaker's exams, Corrie's family had a big celebration. Corrie was so pleased. She loved working in the watch shop, and every evening she made sure that the doors were locked. "Are all of the watches safe?" Corrie muttered as she checked the locks. "Everything's safe, Corrie," said Papa. "It's time to eat." One day, Corrie and Betsy woke up to the sound of aeroplanes flying overhead. They ran to the window and looked out. Enemy planes covered the sky. The Nazis had invaded Holland. Their country was at war. Bombs were dropped from the sky day and night until Holland was defeated. Corrie did all she could to help people escape from the enemy. Corrie would cycle through the city to pass on secret messages. Jewish people were in lots of danger. Many of them were put in prison. "We must help these poor people," Corrie gasped. "They need somewhere to hide." But where would they find a safe place? That was when Corrie's room was made into a hiding place. A special secret room was added on the end of her bedroom. Anybody who needed a place to hide could come and stay with the ten Boom family. When the enemy came, Corrie and Betsy would hide the people in the secret room until the soldiers went away. When the danger was over, Corrie would whisper a prayer of thanks to God. "Everyone's safe. God, thank you. Thank you so much." However, one day the enemy found out that Corrie's family was helping Jews escape. Nazi guards came to the watch shop and hammered on the door. Corrie's friends hid inside the secret room. They got in just in time. A Nazi guard marched into the watch shop and took Corrie away. It was her turn to go to prison now. She went to prison for helping the Jews escape. It was a horrible and frightening day, but as she left in the back of an army truck, Corrie thanked God that the Nazis had not found the secret room. Her friends were safe for now. The prison was a horrible place to be. Corrie was alone. Her family were in prison too, but she was not allowed to see them. She was tired and hungry and very sad. When she heard that her papa had died, Corrie's eyes filled with tears. But she knew that he had gone home to be with Jesus. That's what heaven is like, she thought. It's just like going home. Papa is safe. Nobody can hurt him now. He is with Jesus. Corrie was surprised one morning when a parcel arrived for her. Why is the address written so strangely? It's almost as if they want me to look at the stamp. Perhaps they do. She was curious. She gasped. Quietly, she peeled the stamp away. Underneath, there was a secret message. What do you think the secret message said? All of the watches are safe. Corrie smiled. It was a secret message to tell her that the people in the secret room had escaped. Thank you, Jesus, Corrie whispered. Thank you for keeping them safe. Corrie spent many months in different prisons. One of these prisons was called Ravensbrück. For some of that time, she was with her sister Betsy. But when Betsy died, Corrie was on her own. However, Corrie knew that God was with her. Even if she died, God would keep her safe. Corrie knew that there is no place safer than heaven. Then, an amazing thing happened. An enemy guard made a mistake, and Corrie was set free. Soon afterwards, the war ended. Corrie remembered the watches and the secret room and how God always keeps his people safe. So many people need to know that the only way to be really safe is to trust in Jesus Christ, Corrie thought. Jesus died for me. That is what I will tell the world, Corrie said. Trusting in Jesus and what he did is the only way to be truly safe. Corrie helped so many people. She helped hide them so they could survive when the Nazis were in control of Holland. She sacrificed her well-being for others. She helped others when they were in need. Just like the lesson we learned about in our Bible story today, she did not turn them away. She opened her home to them. She provided a place to sleep for them. She provided food for them. And even though it meant her going to prison for some time, she lived out loving and serving Jesus as she served other people. And when she was finally released, she traveled the world telling everyone of Jesus' love. And she even learned to forgive those that had hurt her and her family. So, as we read these stories about those who have gone before us and lived lives serving others and serving the Lord, I hope that you are encouraged. Next week, we will be reading about George Mueller, and the title of that book is Does Money Grow on Trees? Until next time,